Hey guys, it's a bit of a different video this time, but I promise you it will be worth it. So I will share some infos about the future of the channel, some really good news, and at the end we will crack open a mailbag. So if you're interested, keep watching. What you see here is my desk. This is pretty much the same old desk I've been using to create videos in the last 2.5 years. Now, let's zoom out a bit. So, what you see here is space. Actually, a lot of extra space that I haven't had so far. But now I have it. Point is, the man cave or studio or lab or makerspace, whatever you call it, is growing. Thanks to my beautiful wife, who decided to leave this room, which served as our common or shared study slash, whatever you call it. So, as you can see, there's a lot of junk here, and some half-done solution for a maker workbench. If you remember, like a year ago or something like that, I created this, I called it, I think, a mobile workbench for electronics. So it served me well, but it has its limitations, like it's small. Yeah, and if you see, or if you check it out, you don't see any pegboards or tool racks, so it's inconvenient. Only the necessary tools included, like the soldering iron and stuff like that. So the actual tools are here. And yeah, searching for tools, not the best solution. But this is from the times when I haven't had this much space. So the good news is there will be soon a new makerspace or workbench here, complete with all the necessary stuff, and finally I will be able to move these part containers to their actual places. So no more excuse for me to skip on electronic projects. And actually I'm quite eager to get back to electronics. Because yeah, home automation is nice, home networking is nice, but if you follow the channel for some time now, you know that I started the whole thing because of DIY reasons. Because I really wanted to try myself at creating electronics and creating sensors and stuff like that for, yeah, a smart home. So time to get back to that. Of course, I won't leave the software part alone, because I'm kind of a full stack developer here, and by full stack I don't mean the usual definition like front end, back end and whatnot, but instead hardware and software. So that is my home server, that is the pfSense box that is waiting to be finished, and that is my new Raspberry Pi cluster, which I haven't yet had the opportunity to show you yet. So there will be a video about that soon, because this is a completely revised model, and actually it has a problem, but it's a long story. Also, I have a lot of stuff here, like printers and DVD writers and who knows what, which are waiting to be disassembled and turned into a heap of parts that I can use. I can't wait to see what I can do with stepper motors and whatnot, which I plan to salvage from these printers, because I'm the type of guy who doesn't really like throwing out actual useful parts into the bin. Okay, so this is the good news, and just let me show you a few more things. So this is the actual room and as you can see, there's a lot of work to be done, but it gives me a lot of space. So I will have all what I need to create or build an actual electronics lab, which is cool, and I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, now it's time to get to this mailbag. So here we go with the actual mailbag part. Now point is, I had some of the actual bags opened up because some of the items shared the seller with items not related to the channel, so I just removed those. So let's start with what I've already unpacked or partially unpacked. Also, sorry for the weird lighting. The workbench is, as you have seen, is still work in progress. So first of all, some USB female connectors. So this will be used for revised versions of those USB power distribution modules I've been working on. Actually, I've already showcased the first version in a video that was used for my Raspberry Pi cluster. I'm planning to make revised version of this module, and yeah, maybe I will sell it on Thingy, who knows. Okay, and now what are these? These are connectors for PC coolers, and this type of connector is used by the cooler that I've been using so far to cool the Raspberry Pi cluster. So these will end up on the same board. This board will probably be my first totally custom board ordered from GLC PCB or who knows, and this will be added to that board, so you can connect the coolers to the board, to the power distribution board. Then a lot of headers, both male and female. So these will be needed also for the same board, because yeah, the board has a shield-like mechanism, so you can stack more and more USB connectors on top of it. So it is a modular solution, and so far these seem to be the best solution for adding those shields. But again, more on that later, because I'm still working on an actual revised version of the power distribution board. So these will be needed for those. Then these small screws, believe it or not, 2.5 or 2-point screws are pretty hard to come by, at least here in middle of Europe, because yeah, whatever reasons. I mean, I can easily get M3 screws, but not these smaller ones. And when it comes to screwing the Raspberry Pi to an enclosure or something like that, M3 screws are too big, just like 0.5 millimeter big, but still too big. And yeah, you can enlarge the screw holes, which are actually not screw holes, but whatever, with some careful drilling. If you manage to scratch your Raspberry Pi, you void your warranty, and yeah, it's just easier to use smaller screws. So that's why I ordered these. Again, these will be part of the Raspberry Pi cluster. What next? So these two are for the pfSense video that I'm still working on. So in the video I had to give up on using the machine's HDMI port that I built, and it was quite a shame. So it turned out that motherboard with the embedded CPU I used had a faulty HDMI port, but unfortunately it is out of warranty. So instead I decided to give it a go So this is a DVI-D HDMI converter. But I still need to record the screen because you cannot run pfSense in a VM, or actually you can run it in a VM, but that's just weird. I mean, I wanted to give a bare metal solution as cheap as possible, so that's why I went with that mini ITX board. And yeah, this is the way I plan to capture what I'm doing on the screen. So hopefully these will work together. I don't know. I mean, for this particular HDMI capture, let's call it a card, but it's not really a card, it's a USB adapter. So for this I've seen pretty good reviews, but I've never seen anybody to use it together with this type of converter. So hopefully it will work. Okay, so this was the open part of the mailbag. Now onto the mystery items with the actual bags. This is from Banggood, but that's not their usual packing. So, okay. Product description. What on earth is this? I've never seen such a product description provided with a single item. So this is a step-down converter. And actually there should be more of this, like 3 if I'm correct. And yeah, it's weird that it's packed this way. Anyway, I will link the actual item in the description. Just let's open the rest. No, it's a different one. Actually there should be like 3 of these and 3 of these. So this is a boost converter, this is a step down converter. Both are for the Raspberry Pi cluster, and yeah, it's a long story. Next one. This is an LED light. I've seen pretty good reviews about. So this is a fill light, and I should be able to attach this directly to the camera I'm recording this with. So let's actually try it. Okay, pretty bright. So you can see everything went dark because this is so bright. And actually this has adjustable color temperature and actually adjustable brightness, so it can be even brighter. Okay, so just let me hold it here above the camera. You can see the difference. This is not particularly for lighting this desk, but for making more like portrait videos or the usual intro talking head type of video that I'm doing at the start of the videos. And last, the big one. So this one hopefully be an essential part of my electronics lab. So here's my new baby, the 858D rework station, which I wanted to have for a long time now, but again I haven't had the space for that. So should come with all the necessary parts, all the accessories, and hopefully it will help me in my future adventures when it comes to desoldering and probably even soldering, I mean SMD soldering. Okay, nothing else in the box. I mean, whatever is this? It's really a thin looking copper wire, sort of. I'm not sure, I will have to look this up because seems like 0.1 millimeter thick copper wire. I'm not sure why this is provided with this device, but I will have to look it up anyway. Okay, so this one goes to the workbench, this one goes to the camera, and the rest goes to the Raspberry Pi cluster and for the pfSense box. So these are the upcoming projects, I guess. Okay, so that's it about this video, but before saying goodbye I have an announcement to make. So I'm soon starting another channel, which will be like a B-side or behind the scenes version of this channel, of the main channel. So I will talk about my experience with YouTube, about growing a channel, about gear and stuff like that. So if you're interested or just interested in behind the scenes stuff, like how I'm progressing with my workshop build and whatnot, then feel free to subscribe to that channel too. If you do so, I would be very grateful. Other than that, yeah, hope to see you next week, next time, with another video. Bye! You're still here. That's good, because that means you kinda liked my video. If so, feel free to check out these other videos too. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That helps me a lot. And yeah, if you click the bell button, you will get also notified about new videos.